Yeah, welcome back to the Lost Omens podcast, brought to you by the Professional Casual Network. If you joined us last time, you got to meet our wonderful players and their characters, where we found out all about them, where they came from, who their besties are, what possessions they have that they love, and why the heck they're in this circus. So I'm going to let them go around and introduce themselves really quick, and then we're going to get started with our first episode here. So I'm going to pantomime to my left, but he's actually to my right. Tell us who you are and who you're playing.
So I'm playing Mud. And Mud's fucking awesome, bro.
He's the best. I hear that he's the best.
That's what I say a lot. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
I'm Brennan Nimblemind, a Yusoki, not red folk, if you please.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, my name is Fulgrim. I am a dwarf, and I will serve you a strong drink.
You can laugh.
Oh, it's so good.
I am Xa'Reske, lizard folk, and I am here to entertain or please.
All right. Last
My name's Kurva. My name's Kurva, and I'm what people know as a sea pig. An orc who goes on, who sails on the seas. What, a sea pig?
It makes sense. Totally makes sense.
It's not a slur to us.
It's rather common.
It's their word. It's fine.
I told Brennan he can use it. He refuses to.
It's not strictly accepted.
All right. We are here. We are gathered here today to play Pathfinder 2e. We are starting out with the Extinction Curse. The show must go on. It's circusy. It's great. You are all members of the circus known as the Circus of Wayward Wonders. You joined the circus. Some of you, if you listen to episode 0, you know who. Some of you were performers in Mistress Dusklight's Celestial Menagerie over in Escadar. And she was horrible.
Yeah.
So you left.
She's all like cat people.
Yeah, she is a cat person.
Not a fan.
You know, she kind of eyed you up once or twice, I'm sure.
In a weird way.
Yeah. Just a
You're on a
tasty
tight
little
ship.
morsel. Tasty. So you pieced the fuck out of there and you started your own circus. Or maybe you came after the circus was already established, but you decided on the Circus of Wayward Wonders. And you've all been working really hard to get the acts, together, under control, tight, people-pleasing, if you will. And you've been working really, really hard with the help of the circus's leaders. There's an elderly circus veteran known as the Professor. That's what you call him. Just the Professor. And then there's the showman or the ringleader, Myron Thunder Stendhal. So, and they kind of have been just kind of figuring out which acts will go in which part of the routines, and kind of really bringing the show all together and bringing you all together as a little circus family. You've been working really hard all together to get this thing going. And so you are finally ready to perform in the town of Aberton. And they are so excited to have you guys here. Typically towns are maybe sometimes wary or leery of circuses because they do tend to bring in some questionable folk. But the people of Aberton, they're just happy to have their minds taken off of recent troubles. The area around here, they've been struggling. They're an agricultural area, and they've been struggling recently. So they are so happy to have you all here. You've got a full house tonight under the big top, including the mayor. The mayor, Jay Aber, is here to watch you delight the town with your show. So everybody's excited for the magic, the wonder, the showmanship of the Circus of Wayward Wonders. So it's great. You have a circus tent that will accommodate, a couple hundred people. Everybody's there, packed. Don't be nervous. So many of the prominent citizens are there. It's noisy. It smells of popcorn and maybe some beer that Fulgrim is more than happy to dole out to the watchers. So the lights go down. We're talking like early to mid-evening here, probably like 5, 6 o'clock. The lights go down. The audience starts to settle into their seats. The circus performers are taking their spots backstage. You're all backstage with them, getting ready. Even if you're not performing, you're backstage ready to go. Suddenly, though, several of the performers closest to the curtain that separates the 3 rings from the rest of the tent, they leave their assignment spots because there's a small gathering, a small group, and they're exchanging frightened whispers and hushed gasps. And if you approach that huddled little group, you notice the body of Myron Thunder Stendhal, the ringmaster, and it's contorted as if caught forever in the throes of terrible pain. Everyone in the circus knew Myron for his amazing, powerful voice that could bring instant silence to the largest crowd, and he knew everything there is to know about putting on a successful performance. But now he's dead, but there's a crowd out there, and they're expecting a show.
What?
Yeah, I mean, they paid money. It's your first show.
I'm surprised that he's dead, not that there's a crowd.
Well, yeah. Well, they don't know he's dead, so they're expecting the show.
Brennan, remind me how this works. It doesn't just somebody else become the new Myron?
Essentially.
Mud,
Yeah.
you're the best at yelling at people.
Yeah.
Can you get out there?
Well, obviously, yes. And this I've pretty much been born for this.
It was my understanding that you were already supposed to be out there anyways.
Yeah, we plan for all contingencies, and this was just eventually
this
going
one.
to happen. Well,
I not plan for the ringmaster to be dead.
I mean, you should always plan on the ringmaster to die.
I shall add to my plans for when we have to worry about when Mud is dead.
Well, no. I think we're pretty much done after I'm gone.
So
I'll literally hold the whole thing up.
You are full. Thankfully, Mud is full of self-confidence. Some might say self-righteousness. The other performers are terrified and are frozen in fear and shock at seeing the body of your beloved ringmaster dead from who knows what, but it looks incredibly painful. The professor steps up and pats Mud on the shoulder and gives you a good old thumbs up, like, way to go. And he says, well, what's everybody standing around for? We've got a show to put on. Have you seen that crowd? We haven't ever had a tent packed this full. There's a show to put on. Send in the clowns. So everybody starts to assemble themselves. And the professor approaches you, especially Mud, because you are the only one who's not like, oh my God, he's dead. And he says, I'm going to need you to make sure that this runs smoothly, because Myron, he knew what acts were going on at what time. He didn't write it down or tell anybody.
Well, that's because Myron had me around. So, I mean, really nothing changes. We got this completely under control.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness you're all here. I'm so glad that, the likes of you, you're not intimidated by this, something as horrid as this.
Well, people do come specifically here to see weird stuff, and Myron looks really weird right now.
Yeah, I'll get that body out of there. Hang on.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Kurva. I couldn't do it myself with my back the way that it is.
Well, just let me have just a minute with the body, please.
Oh,
I mean, take some notes.
There's a show going on. He'll still be weird looking later.
I just need 1 minute.
It's the 1 minute.
I don't know if you know that there's a show going on right now, some might say.
Good thing I don't go on stage anyway. I'm going to take 1 minute to investigate this body a bit and take some notes about it and just see what I can see.
All right, Brennan, why don't you investigate the body for a minute or so?
All right, so the way that the circus works, you, as a group, you have to decide how to arrange 7 different tricks in the 4 different acts. So there's one trick for the opener that goes in the center ring, which is the the circle in the middle on the map. There are 2 tricks for the build-up in the side rings, 1 trick for the big number in the center ring, and 3 tricks for the finale in all 3 rings. So there are 6 NPC tricks that are ready to perform, and I'll explain those right now. So you have Axel's amazing aviary. See him produce birds from underneath his cloak. They fly, they sing, they deliver sweets to the children in the audience. There's also the Dwarven Throwers. See these tumblers shape themselves into a living ballista and launch themselves through the air. There's Elysia and Mr. Tickles, which is her snake.
Oh, oh my God. That was another clown.
It's not that kind of show. See her handle deadly vipers of many kinds and dance with a 16-foot-long anaconda. Yep. There are the Flamboni sisters. See feats of juggling from these 2 brave sisters. Can they juggle fire? Will they set themselves on fire? You'll have to watch to find out. The Featherfall 5. And this is the Kinbali family. Balances on tight ropes with bounces, flips, and aerial feats to delight. And finally, Mordain the Magician. Acts of illusion performed with skill, not magic. See Mordain escape from shackles, locks, and a water-filled tank.
So we need 7 total acts?
You need 7 total acts.
Correct.
Okay. And what was the rundown of the things again? How many we needed for each thing?
So there's 1 trick for the opener, 2 tricks for the build-up,
Okay.
1 for the big number, and 3 for the finale.
Okay. So I'm going to go on first and, just tell some awesome stories and do some stand-up to warm up the crowd.
Okay.
In the second phase, we are going to have the aviary and the magician going to give the kids candy and sweets and, play with some birds or whatever. And the magician, no one really cares about magicians. So that'll be fine there. For the big number, we have the family of 5 there doing their tightrope thing.
Okay.
And then for the finale, we have Mr. Tickles, we have the D throwers, and the juggling fire sisters.
I do
all
believe
going
we
at the
have
same
other
time.
X that
Nope.
can go out.
Oh, like what?
We have our friends here.
Mud, if you would like, I can eat some glass or eat fire. I've been practicing it on my time off. It's fairly good. I think it would impress the crowd.
That was intentional? I thought you just had too much of your brew.
No, I specifically have trained myself to eat glass and swallow swords. I'm quite hardy in that respect.
All right. Well, you know what? No one likes magicians anyway. Why don't we move you to the finale in the center? It'll be like a natural gradient progression. You'll start with the dwarf throwers, moving to you eating glass and fire, and then in the third ring we'll have the sisters fire jugglers. It'll be like a seamless transition from dwarf to fire.
I really would not want to be front and center. I've only done this a couple of times behind the tents.
All right. So,
Xa'Reske, don't you do something extravagant, flamboyant, something
yeah, he
like
picks
that?
up wood and ropes.
I've been known to handle a couple of the rigging, if need be.
Oh, very good, very good. I will
could,
be ready with my medical tools in case anybody hurts themselves while they're eating glass or putting themselves on fire.
Actually, how about you join me in the opener? We'll keep the finale as it is, and I will wax poetically about what the glass and fire is doing to your insides.
I can most assuredly do that.
Perfect. All right, we're golden.
All right.
I'll just stand ready with my mop.
Oh, yeah, please be ready for,
More dead bodies. Yep.
yeah.
I know the score.
Clean up.
I shall not throw up blood. yet again. I believe I've thrown it up all the last time.
I think we've got that
Fulgrim,
taken care of. Yes.
I know the score. It's part of the job.
I think it would be pertinent if I would maybe walk around in the outskirts, just in case.
Okay.
There may be something one of our other fellows may fall victim to a heinous crime. Or if someone is looking for the restroom and needs information, I may be able to help them.
So almost like a security / usher type thing.
Of sorts.
That's delightful.
Thank you.
Okay.
Help out in that.
Yeah. So I
All right. So you.
bark at people like I've been barking at them forever and get them to do their things.
All right. Very well done, Mud. Well done. The professor does tell you that by, you all taking charge and being a little more upstanding than the wet noodles who accompany you, you will make more on this show than your counterparts
Well,
because you're kind of taking a managerial role.
it's nothing we haven't already deserved.
True.
Makes sense to me.
Okay, so up first, Mud, you are doing your stand-up routine.
Yeah. Well, with Fulgrim as my co-star.
Okay. So walk us through that. I've got to have you make some kind of a check.
So I'll make a perform check.
Okay.
What do you got going on over there, Fulgrim?
Let's see.
Sounds like a fortitude saving throw to me.
That is quite correct. I shall. I will take one of my beer steins that I've been handing out to the crowd when they have asked for more refreshments and some of my fine brew, and I will just chomp down on that, grimacing as I chew through it.
All right. Go ahead.
That is a natural 20.
Wow. Okay.
Huzzah! For the first roll of the game, natural 20. This campaign is going to be amazing.
So
Just tell me.
Behind you.
What about behind you?
On
Oh,
the
you need
circus
this? Okay.
charts.
All right, so since we are going to cut that anyway, I'm going to pee because, yeah.
Jesus, Jamie. In the corner. Pee in the corner.
Motherfucker.
That's pee in the corner.
Constantly. All right,
Yeah.
well, this is
So while we're gonna cut this out anyway, Dan has the performance tracking sheets.
Perfect.
You guys can keep track of who goes when, and the successes. That's awesome that he got a 20.
yeah, for real.
That's really freaking awesome because
Xa'Reske, I didn't think that it would be cool if we did a mock fight, but I didn't think that I was going to be able to say it. Oh, he's not listening.
no, he went pee.
Let me tell you how
No,
pissed off I am
Xa'Reske.
Oh, yeah,
about this
Increases
right
our
okay, though.
excitement and anticipation.
because I didn't read it was green apple,
girl.
and I'm really upset that
You
it's
were
not
expecting
like July.
antifreeze flavor.
Is there someone else playing with you guys?
Ben's
Yeah.
playing with us.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's why I pointed at the computer.
I was like, what
Hello.
are you listening to and giggling about? I assumed it was like a pre-recorded kind of thing for...
Oh,
like,
gotcha.
the
Gotcha.
adventure.
That would be kind of cool. Like those old. Did you ever play those video games that was like a VHS tape that you would put in and play along it with a light gun that didn't work because it was
Yeah.
a fucking videotape?
No, but I know what you're talking about, but no.
Sounds like you're doing the security guard non-performer role.
Aye.
Or are there roles that we should all be
Is
aware
that
of?
something I should have read?
Is this like
No,
is
this
this
is
like a
from
graphic
the
novel that we
AP.
should have read before?
Thank you.
That we were told not to read?
I was trying to, because the circus is pretty complex in addition to the adventure, so I was been reading part of it to help out.
Essentially, what I'm going to do is walk around, kind of make sure nobody else dies, and if somebody needs to know the bathroom, I'll tell them where it is for a silver or something.
Okay.
You're like, can I hold anything?
Oh, this is why I only drink coffee.
So you shit a lot. Sorry.
All right. So I rolled an 18 for my performance check, and I described to the audience about the brews that are made in our beer tent and how they both fortify your teeth and your gullet and your esophagus. And by consuming those things, not only can you perform these fantastic feats, I just lean into it real hard like a Built Bar ad and just
Just send it out.
send it out.
All right, so from the crowd, you hear someone go, "Oi, I didn't know these glasses were eatable." And there, you can see there's a group of 4 drunkards in the stands. If you want to stand those up for me.
Sir, please do not try to.
And so one of them is like, I can't. He's like actually trying to like bite it, but he can't actually bite into it. He's like, well, this is a load of shit. I've never seen such a shitty circus as this. And he's got a couple friends with him, and they're all like, oh, stop it. He says it's going to improve my gullet. Nothing can improve my gullet. My mother said so.
The only thing shitty here, friend, is your teeth, because they can't go through the glass. Obviously, you've not drinking enough of our wonderful brews. I'm assuming you just showed up today. If you had been drinking it for months, you should probably buy enough to be able to drink for months, and then you'd be able to perform all these fantastic feats.
Oh, wish I'd known that. And one of the ones sitting behind him says, you just have to break it first. And he goes to like crack the guy on the back of the head with his mug.
Sir, please do not.
Xa'Reske!
I would like to stealth out of the side of the stands.
Okay.
And with a... sorry, I don't know how to add. With a 12, I come sort of towards the bottom here.
Okay. They don't see you.
And I would like to point kind of an intimidating glare up at the one who is about to shatter
Okay.
on the back of the head.
All right.
And it's not very intimidating.
Oh, gee whiz. Well, they're like, why give me that look?
If you would like to be drunkards, you can do so in the beer tent.
But we paid to be here.
And I'm telling you that the children behind you are terrified. Leave.
Well, they should be terrified. They can't eat their glasses.
They're simply not old enough to have been drinking for 3 months yet. Had they been drinking Fulgrim's brew, they certainly would be able to handle it.
Mud, do a diplomacy check.
14.
All right, so they, oh, you know what? Maybe we should get some more. Yeah, we'll try it again, but we gotta drink more brew. Yeah. And
Gentlemen, if I can escort you to our beer tent.
Oi!
And the first
right.
round is on me.
All right. So, you escort these 4 ruffians out
of the tent.
Yes.
And that's as far as I go.
The excitement for the audience increases by 2.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's really good for us.
And I will skulk back.
Yeah. All right. Will you hand me my ruffians from the map? Thank you. Well done. That was fun. So the whole idea is to have a successful show. You want to have your excitement surpass your anticipation for the show. And so with each successful act, so Brennan, did you record that we have 2 successful acts?
Indeed, yes. With that critical success that Fulgrim had, he generated 1 excitement for us and also increased the anticipation by 1 as well.
Right on. People are loving this so far. So, and if you, like I said, if you meet or surpass that, then your show is considered a success. Either way, you get paid. Whether it flops and people aren't into it or not, you still get paid. So, very good. All right. So, Act 1, done. Who's up next?
We have the aviary gentleman or lady, I forget, and the magician.
Ooh, okay. So, Axel, Axel's amazing aviary. He's been following the circus for about a week, but he's never actually auditioned before. Myron never gave him a chance to do that. So you know that he's never performed in front of an audience before. But he tells you he's ready. He's, especially now in this moment with this pressure, he is ready to perform. He's ready to send his birds out.
Can I give him a little pep talk?
Yes, absolutely.
So Myron, what's your name?
Axel.
Axel. That's what I meant. Sorry,
Myron's dead.
Myron's on the brain and the floor. But this spot was made for you. This is going to be so insanely easy. There's nothing to worry about. Our friend went out there and ate glass. You're going to go out there and give the kids treats. You're going to be out there with the magician. Kids love magicians. people with taste don't, but this is what you're made for. You literally can't fail.
All right. Do you want to do diplomacy or intimidate to get him to go on?
Oh, I'm a coercing fella, so definitely intimidate.
Okay.
21.
All right. So that is a success. And because of that success and your great role playing, he actually gets a +2 circumstance bonus on his skill check right
Beautiful.
now. So let's see how Axel, the aviary, does. Oh, boy. All right. So that was a 17. So he sends his birds out and they deliver wrapped candies to some of the kids in the front row. And he's got some bigger predatory birds that kind of swoop up all the way to the top of the big top and they swoop back down and they like take his hat off his head or whatever people who like birds do. I don't really know.
I hate birds.
That sucks. Meanwhile, Mordain, the magician, she refuses to go on unless she is the big main act. I won't do it. My skill level puts me at being the main star performer. Having me go out with this hack. Fuck off, Dan. Just kidding. He's gonna come out.
That's good. That was so good.
Having me go out with this hack with his birds, his cockatrices, and his chickens, and his waterfowl is just insulting to me.
Here's the good news. You simply wouldn't be able to perform out there with him anyway because he is killing it. You would be 100% overshadowed because you're simply not up to par.
Oof.
Can I make a coercion check on him again?
You can do whatever you want.
Her?
Yeah.
24.
Okay. I'm not sure what you're telling me then. Should I go?
I need you to go out there and be better than him.
I mean, it's not really that great. He's giving sweets. I can untie myself while submerged in water for 17 minutes.
That sounds like a headliner act. This is my first day. If you go prove yourself out there right now and do better than him, because he's killing it, you're gonna be the star of the show going forward.
Okay, I'll do my best. Thank you for believing in me. Although next time I do want to talk about me being the big act.
Absolutely.
I really do. All right, so she got it with a total of 23.
She did do better.
She did. All right, and so she, she has a stagehand. Fulgrim could do this if he wanted to. She has someone actually put her in shackles before she lowers herself into a giant tank of water, and they put the lid on. They lock it up, put a sheet over it, very Harry Houdini style. Put a sheet over it, and then as soon as people start to get nervous, then boop, the top pops open, and ta-da, there she is. She got herself unshackled. Brava. Wonderful. All right. So is this the big number now that we're up
This
to?
is the big number, the Family Force 5 or whatever the name is.
Okay. So as the stagehands are starting to set up, someone brings it up to you that the family comes to talk to you. Something's wrong with their nets. They look like they've been messed with. So if anybody wants to make some kind of perception check or...
Brennan, can you check that out?
Or a nature check.
I can take a look at these nets. Yes, of course. How about a 9 for perception?
Okay. I'm going to give this to you because it's you doing this. Because you look at these nets and you realize these have been chewed on by rats.
Rats, not rat folk.
But you know that that's weird for rats to target something. Like, it looks very, like, each, so the way that the nets are set up, like, each across piece has been, like, chewed directly in the middle. And then the one next to it, chewed. Not, like, in one little area or not, like, a part that was exposed to rodents. So this is very intentional, but you know that this was done by rats.
It would seem someone directed these rats to do this heinous act. What can we do? These nets are not usable, of course. It would not be safe. What can we do instead?
Do you have other nets? You have backup nets?
There are no nets. These are only nets. Why would we need more than one net? It's all the nets that we have.
Can you do it without a net?
That's very dangerous.
I'm a medic.
You could try to convince them. Do you have diplomacy?
Yes. I'm not very good at it, but I could try. How about a natural 1 for a 4?
Brennan!
The worst that could happen is that you'll die, but we already have one dead person on this stream.
Pretty much. Woof. I say put the fancy-looking lizard folk out there. He can climb around.
I'm known to climb some things and jump off of such.
He's a rigger, right? You can
Scurry up that pole. You've got those sticky hands.
Feet.
Same thing.
By himself? I could go up there with him. We could spar like we usually do, only this time it'd be up high.
Here's what we do. You two go up with the parents of the family. That way, they can lead you in this, and no children die. If anyone dies, it's just adults.
That does make some kind of sense, yes.
I think perhaps a sort of sparring match between Kurva and I up high in the sky.
Oh.
That would sure to generate excitement for us.
Absolutely. We can climb up.
And the same amount of kids might die, too.
Yes, zero.
A net of 0.
Let's go get out there then, where we were wasting time.
We shall climb up ourselves. Yes, Kurva?
Follow your lead.
Aye.
All right, so to do this trick, you can choose whether, if you have acrobatics or athletics, you can choose which you decide to test on.
You could even make an attack roll.
Oh, okay.
During the performance, I would like to cast guidance on each of them separately during the performance.
Okay.
Which will give you a +1 on any check that you decide to use the +1 on.
All right.
I'll go for an athletics check, and I actually, as a rainfall orc, I get a +2 on that. So
awesome.
In total, 15.
Beautiful.
And I will do acrobatics with many bounds, leaps, jumps, flips through the air, etc.
Yeah.
Never losing my hat.
Of course.
And my feather goes nuts. With a total of 25.
Wow. Okay, so that's a critical success.
Thank you.
I'm very
Well
much
done.
a backup dancer.
All right, so the crowd is incredibly impressed that you are doing this without a net. And the family feels kind of shitty, too.
I have done worse on the cliff sides.
Sometimes you got to climb up the rigging, and every so often you hit the deck. It's just what happens.
Yeah.
You know, and this is to the family, sometimes when a horrible travesty happens, like the ringmaster dying, a family will come together and make sure the show goes on. I want you to look at them and realize they are a better family than you will ever be.
Oh, no.
As I come down from the act, I would like to backflip out and land right in front of the family, spin around and bow.
Okay.
And make sure my feather hits them.
Right. You poke the mom right in the eye, and she blinks away like, oh.
We'll roughly shove them out of the way and get back to mopping.
There's so much to mop. Oh, my goodness. So before the closer, there are, in the center stands, the very, very center.
I kill him. A bunch of children from a nursery.
You hear shrieking.
Uh-oh.
Right, I want to do it, but I don't want to be too loud for the mic. Like, ah! Snakes! Snakes in the stands! And there are,
That's
in
not
fact,
where snakes are supposed to be.
snakes in the stands. Boop.
My apologies, my lunch may have gotten away.
Boop, boop, boop. So use your imagination, because not all of these are snakes, but they are. Thank you, sir. Yes, get it.
I like how apologetic you were at first, and then just...
Laid into
Send
it.
it out.
I would like to point out for those that can't quite see it that every square on this map does account for 20 feet.
Oh, wow. Those are massive snakes.
They just ate a whole family. Shit. And so your excitement is decreased by 1. I'm just kidding. That's not true.
Jeez.
No, you guys are great. All right, so there are some snakes up in the stands. What do you do?
Mr. Tickle's master.
Yes.
This is obviously part of her act.
Elysia.
Yes. Get out there and get those snakes under control.
Those are not my snakes.
All right.
No, and Mr. Tickles, he is super lethargic today. I don't know what he's just real sleepy.
Get out there right now. Start performing. The sisters fire juggling. Get out there, make it big and bright right now. We need a distraction. Kurva and Xa'Reske. Get out there and get those snakes under control.
I will turn back around and backflip back.
Okay. I want you to deal with the Vipers before the other performances go on.
So I backflip and jump up onto the stands and pull out my rapier and face down the nearest snake.
So the people in the stands who are now standing on their seats, they point down there, and you see there are 3 Vipers, and they're just coiled. They're not like upset or attacking or anything. They're just like coiled underneath the seats, and they just look at you.
Speak to them in your snake tongue.
I apologize. Is that trademarked?
You can't say that. This is the family show.
I will attempt a sort of nature poking of the eyes, maybe, to get them to follow in my general direction.
Okay.
On a 12.
All right. So they like scuttle as a snake does, which they're fucking disgusting. I'm sorry. I hate snakes. They like slink back like a foot away from you, but they're not like hesitant, but they have not yet been in any kind of like offensive stance.
My friend Kurva, do you have any assistance with your mop, perhaps?
I could swab them away, but I feel like they wouldn't take kindly to that.
Brennan, can you help them?
What? Are we trying to...
Just get rid of them. You don't have to kill them. Just put them in a bucket or something.
I'd rather not go near snakes if I don't have to.
You're like 8 times their size, man. Like, you're fine.
Yeah, and they're 12 times their size.
Could I use thievery to try to pick up the snake and throw him in a bucket real quick?
Why not? Anything at this point.
Do we have anyone trained in nature?
That's a 20.
All right, so you like really quick just like snatch one up and you stick it in a bucket.
That is one fantastic move, and I would like to do the same. Give me a bucket, sir.
Okay.
All right, what color? What size?
That one.
We got a lot of buckets here.
I've rolled in.
We got a lot of buckets here.
I've rolled an 18.
All right, so you also just snatch a snake.
The head, like the younglings when they get snappy.
Yeah. Exactly. So there's only one more snake to dispose of. What are you doing with these after you get them in the bucket?
I'm sure
they're ours now.
Animals to feed, perhaps.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
We could definitely give them to Eliza. She could definitely use them for her snake wrangling operations.
I got a 15 on the last one.
Okay, that'll do. All right, so you dispose.
I'll give it a thumbs up to Mud.
I give them like just an absolutely relieved, like, thank fucking God, guys.
The crowd loves that you did this in a non-violent way, but also, relatively quickly once you realized that there was a threat. So your excitement is increased by 1.
Whoa.
Brennan, I would like to say that I feel like the show here has come onto a lot of there's been a lot of bad luck that has come to this show here. I don't believe that this is very common for first-time shows, and I feel that someone is definitely trying to undercut our first performance of this season here.
Yeah, we pissed off a druid or something? What's going on?
It does seem a suspect, for sure.
You don't just have snakes wandering around here all the way inland?
Well, yeah, but just not like, I don't know.
It does seem deliberate.
Also, our ringmaster has died, and we are very...
Well, he's getting on in years.
All right, so Elysia, the snake charmer, she's like, my snake, Mr. Tickles, is still real sick.
Well, do you want to use those other vipers? We got them in a bucket.
No, my act is, could somebody just look at Mr. Tickles for me?
Brennan, can you go make sure he's okay?
Kurva, come with me, please, just in case the snake tries to do anything funny.
Bucket.
But I will take a look at this snake with the medicine.
Okay.
Check.
You
We'll be
poked
ready
that
to give it
snake
the
right in its
smash.
eye.
I seem to be out of sorts tonight. That is a 9.
It's a large snake, and he does seem very lethargic.
Elysia, your snake seems lethargic.
Well, yeah, I told you that. He's just not acting himself.
Yes, you're welcome.
He won't eat or drink.
Can he still perform? You drape him over your shoulders as normal, can't you
But
not?
that's not how it. That's not what the kids like to see.
As a fellow reptilian, I may also wish to
All right.
perform a medicine check with a 17.
Okay, so you notice this immediately as goblin pox.
Aye.
And it's not lethal. He's in no real danger. He will recover in a few days. So she's super relieved. She has no idea how he got goblin pox, though. Like, that seems super strange because she usually just has him, like, in her, like, sleeping area. So you can do another medicine check, or if anybody has treat disease, you can try to fix him.
No.
Not yet.
I will attempt to relieve at least some of the pain with a 6.
Nope. All right. She does have some an assortment of smaller snakes that she's been working on a show with, but she hasn't really perfected it. But she'll go out and try it. She'll do her best if you want.
What is the family of acrobats? Could they...
The Featherfall 5?
Yeah, could they intermingle their performance with the fire jugglers or the dwarven throwers?
Well, if they don't have to do an acrobatic thing, they could just do, like, some tumbling on the ground. They're pretty proficient in that.
I am as well.
Yeah, actually, let's have Xa'Reske out there. And
I don't believe Xa'Reske could go out
Pretend to be
again.
charmed by the snake
People have
charmer?
already seen him once.
I do have a different act I can perform, and I whip out my rapier and... If there's any in the audience that may wish to fight as well.
out of game, can we not send out someone more than once?
Yeah, PC can only do one trick.
Gotcha. Okay.
Also, I think we also have the Dwarven Brothers as well.
Yeah, they're the throwers that are going out with the jugglers.
All right.
Yeah, send the they can roll around on the ground or whatever while
Okay.
the jugglers and the throwers go
All
out.
right, they'll do that. All right, so they're tumbling. All right, so they succeeded with a 16, which is perfect. So they just kind of do like some... For the common folk, it's very impressive. They can do like, back handsprings and like a couple flips in the air, and they coordinate it so they're going from like either side of the ring, like at each other, doing like synchronized flipping and stuff like that. This is their warm-up routine. Like, they're like stretching their muscles. It's not actually that impressive.
That works. So we got people throwing fire
So,
and the dwarvens blasting each other all over the place. So
yeah.
it fits right in.
They're super excited. So the dwarven throwers, they go. And they, something with their, like, propulsion mechanism, it's just not quite getting them up in the air to be high enough to be really super impressive. But you guys are, it's not great. The crowd is still like, oh, wow, that's good. So, it's not a critical success, but it's a success.
Mud, I believe I could help with that. If they need more propulsion, I can give them more propulsion at the with a right amount of. I lost it. Go.
It is okay, friend.
And then you had the Flamboni sisters going on.
Yeah.
All right, so it's really interesting. So you've got these 3 circles, these 3 rings inside of the tent. And so in one, you've got flipping and flying and blah, blah, blah. And then in the other, you've got dwarves that are making themselves into cannonballs. And then in the third, you've got these sisters who are twins, which is, kind of an anomaly for this small town folk anyway. And then they're just chucking flaming stuff at each other and just catching it and throwing it back. And they don't catch themselves on fire. So they, it's very incredible and almost overwhelming to the crowd just to have so many cool things happening at one time. It's hard to pick one thing to pick on. And so 2 people enter the tent from the back, and they're stumbling around, and you don't need to make a perception test to know. They're totally drunk. They've been hitting up some of Fulgrim's brew. And they are, this is, you call these acts, these 3 things, what? So you have little tiny people make themselves into balls and then shoot themselves across the ring. Wow, that's really cool. So that was the woman, and the guy that's with her is oh yeah, throwing flaming stuff at each other. That's what my brothers and I do every family holiday. So okay, whatever. And they start to make a fuss in the stands.
Can I get a security guard on that real fast?
Go for it.
Xa'Reske.
They are with us, yes? Or behind?
They're on the other side, coming towards the stands.
This way.
Yes.
And Kurva, obviously, too.
Yeah.
Kurva, sorry.
Kurva, would you like to join me in potentially removing these folks from?
I'll get the bucket.
And I want Mud and Xa'Reske and Kurva to do a quick perception check for me.
22.
Okay. That's perfect.
23.
23, damn.
12!
All right. So even before Mud said anything, the 2 of you were you kind of noticed that this was something that might potentially be an issue. So you get over to them before. People have kind of heard them, but everybody's so mesmerized by what's happening in the 3 rings that they haven't really disturbed any of the crowd at this point.
I would like my going over to them to be part of the.
Oh, okay.
So
all right.
we'll jump through the air.
Quick question. Were the Flamboni sisters successful in their act?
Yes, they were.
Very good.
Yep. I think. And that was a critical success also.
Oh.
Yep.
Very good.
Like she said, they didn't light each other on fire this time.
Right? People around here are so used to just lighting each other on fire on accident.
I was kind of expecting them to light each other on fire as the finale.
They are improving.
Yeah.
They're getting better.
If you call that an improvement, I guess.
All right. So, Xa'Reske and Kurva, you approach the drunken brawlers as they are. How does this go down?
Hello, friends.
Are you part of the show, or are you just hanging out? Do you want to go lay on a rock to get warm?
There's an interesting philosophy with.
To me or to you?
I'm unsure, to be honest.
I would like to lay on a rock to get warm.
It is quite pleasant. Yes, absolutely. Is there a chance that we could potentially take this conversation to the beer tent?
I've had enough beer. I don't know that I need any more. What do you think, Rovo?
Yeah, we can tell that.
No, you don't need any more beer.
Have you had free beer?
No. I didn't know that was a thing.
It is when you're in good company. Friends, wait, may we?
I don't know. I'm just... Are you sure, Rovo? Do
Can I do deception?
Yeah.
23.
Okay.
22.
All right. So they are not typically so easily placated, but they agree to leave with you.
Wonderful friends. And this company I will take to get a beer.
Okay.
Because it looks as if the show is over and I need a drink.
Okay. Excitement increases by 2.
Ooh.
Because again, you did that diplomatically.
I will, however, look back to Kurva. You may come if you wish. And I try to pick out Mud's eyes in the crowd, and I just do the beer, the drink.
The drink.
Yeah.
I really wanted to shove someone. All right.
All right. And so successful show. Everybody, as soon as the 3 final acts there finish, the crowd, they're on their feet, they're applauding, they're whistling, they're, very excited, very happy about this show that they got to see.
I'm just drinking it in. No, thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so that's it. And the lights go down. The crowd start to file out. Some probably hit the beer tent on their way out. And you can advertise for another show if you plan on doing one in the next few days.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll bark it up.
Yeah, bark, bark, baby. So,
Go to Mr. Brennan and ask him if he has any ideas about what happened to my run.
Sorry, what?
That would be you, Dan.
Myron, you looked at the body.
Sorry, yes. I was reading about our success or not of the circus performance. The body, yes, I investigated it. I shall make a medicine check to see if I understand anything that went wrong with it. I have a 9 again.
Can you just get a new die?
Apparently,
That's really crappy.
What went wrong was the heart stopped.
He appears
Apparently
dead.
That's what's wrong with everyone.
He is very dead. You do notice that his legs are so swollen that his pant legs can't be rolled up.
That is strange.
So his trousers have to be cut off if you want to examine him further.
Goodness gracious.
Snake
I shall
thing?
do
Do
that
snakes
using
do
my
this?
healing kit. Sure, I have scissors in there.
Brennan, do you think that this may be a poison? If so, I may have some experience with these types of things.
I do not know. I'll have to take some time. I do want to say, incidentally, that unfortunately it was not quite technically a successful show tonight. I believe we had too many interruptions. We did not excite the crowd enough.
What was the excitement? What did it get to?
We got to 12. And we needed to get to an anticipation of 20.
Oof.
Critical successes increase your excitement, but also your anticipation threshold. And we had a Barker who increased our anticipation by 5 to the maximum of 20.
Wow.
Yes. So it was not a terrible show. We do earn our prestige will increase. There were enough people that enjoyed the show that they will tell others about it, and we are going to be more well known. But unfortunately, wasn't the most successful night.
Well, Xa'Reske and I can now that we have a mock battle as part of our performance, we can definitely fine tune a few things.
Yeah. All right. So as you're examining the body, because really it's just backstage, like it didn't get very far away. People from the show are milling about. The professor comes over and says, job well done for our first show with such a huge audience. Job well done, everybody. And he claps his hands and he gives each of you a bag with 5 gold pieces in it.
Oh,
Where's the
very
rest?
kind.
Well, we have to pay the town council for the rental of the space, and the rest, everybody else has to get at least a couple coins. But I do have this for you. And he hands Mud 2 minor healing potions.
Splendid.
And he says, these came from my own stores. And I think you'll all use them well, I suspect.
Splendid.
All right, so Brennan, as you are cutting the pants off of Myron, Elysia comes over and she kind of like peeks around you and she says, "Oh my, that's snake bite. That's what did that."
Would make sense
Like these
with the
snakes?
Snakes
I
that
kept
we
them in the
saw.
bucket.
And she actually like she is started. Yes, he was attacked by vipers. Absolutely, and this is she like points to several spots on his legs to indicate he was bitten multiple times. So the vipers just kept striking and striking and striking.
Goodness.
When they didn't need to do that to kill him. And so she explains to you that this is very unusual for vipers. If they were like in a natural habitat, if you came upon a viper, it wouldn't strike unless absolutely provoked. And even so, it would strike once and then it would flee. So to have been bitten so severely so many times, and then for the vipers to just hang under the stands, that's really strange.
Mud, something you said earlier, piquing my interest at this time, you facetiously said something about us angering a druid, but more and more that seems to be what could be happening here. Somebody that can take control of animals in some cases. Sounds like rats chewing through a net in a very precise way, vipers acting out of character for themselves and their nature.
And if I may, humans are essentially animals as well, and they were very rowdy this evening.
They were very unruly tonight.
Absolutely.
They were acting as humans do, unfortunately.
Oh,
I gotta back him on that one.
I apologize for the strongest brew that I've made yet. It's a new brew, and I will try to water it down for the next show. I apologize.
A request of you, Fulgrim.
Yes.
Do you believe you could use your skills to take these vipers here and make us some anti-venom in case we have another attack like this, and maybe we'll have some more time to react to it in the future?
I could attempt to do so. Yes, that is quite a thing that I could attempt to do.
Very good. Mud, would you like to devenomize these snakes?
No, but what I will do is we should probably get the venom out of these snakes so they can't hurt anyone else.
I'm sorry, I do believe the term is milking them. Would you like to milk these snakes?
No. Let's get the venom out of them, though.
Elysia
like with
offers
a
to
knife?
help.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yep,
The snake charmer should be good at
pretty
this.
proficient. Anyone who wants to do a perception check of the area around the body.
Now,
I'm going to take a bonus for that due to studying it before.
What'd you get?
It was on 18, and then it moved just slightly to a 2.
Oh my
so
God.
I got a 10.
Oh my God,
that would
Brennan,
be
you're
a
killing
24.
me. Okay.
18. Xa'Reske a fucking baller.
Seriously. So, Xa'Reske, you can't believe that Brennan doesn't notice this, but the area around the body, there are tiny prints of countless rats. Like, not like maybe a rat scampered by, like, I dare say, you might say a swarm of rats was near this body. And then it almost looks as if the rat tracks hide any other footprints that may have been around the body, with the exception of the circus folk, and especially Brennan's because you were examining the body. But yeah, there are lots of rat tracks.
My short, furry friend. And I give you scratches behind your ear
On my ears.
with my little claws.
Twitch a little bit.
I believe you on the right track with perhaps there is a druid who is commanding folk such as yourself, but small savages. Rats, if you will. Not nearly as distinguished as the Xerxes.
Yes, I am not the same as a rat. Thank you very much. I am a Yosoki.
Isoki, yes. Again, it's my native tongue. But I do see many rat prints on the floor here, if you would look.
Oh, yes, of course.
They seem to be covering up other prints that I cannot distinguish.
Strange.
See if I can figure out where these tracks came from.
Or
Maybe follow
where
them
they
back.
lead. Perhaps we should do both.
Which I do not do very well. I got a nat 1
Ooh.
Oof.
for survival.
Can Can I try to recall knowledge on anyone that we may have pissed off recently that would, be a druid that would also, want someone dead?
Sure.
Oh, yeah. You go ahead and roll that.
Oh, right. So a couple people pop into mind just as being like potential suspects. Mm-hmm. So if it's a snake bite, probably snake charmer, Also, Axel didn't love Myron much because Myron wouldn't give him a chance. But it's entirely possible that Mistress Dusklight just got pissed that you guys started your own thing, so maybe she sent somebody. But
my friend,
not totally sure.
Yeah.
Have we seen our mutual friend, the clown, recently?
This does stink of clown.
Bad jokes.
Yeah.
Such bad jokes.
Now, Eliza, you have previously stated that the bites on the bottom of the ringleader's legs are the same type of bites that could occur from the vipers that we have found underneath the stands. Is that correct?
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you for clearing that up.
I would like to try one more perception check here to see if I can... Xa'Reske pointed out these other footprints to me, see if I can see if they lead anywhere or from somewhere, more likely. This die is much more kind. I'm going to say that is a 22.
Okay. So you do notice that the path of the rat footprints do seem to come from the storage area backstage, specifically where the family kept their nets, over to the body, and then out underneath one of the flaps and out of the tent, all as one, unit, a swarm, as it were.
So it seems we are dealing with a swarm of rats of some kind. And we can take a look around, see we have the snakes, it would seem, in a bucket. We could scout around a bit for these rats. Shouldn't be hard to find a large collection of rats.
I've just thought of a concern that perhaps if this druid were to reappear, if it is a druid, that the snakes that we have would become perhaps animated and hunt us down. Would it not be better to...
Yes, we can find a lid for the bucket.
Perhaps dispatching them may be our best bet. After we, of course,
got it.
Milk them, as you say.
Yes, so let's milk them first, and then we can dispatch them.
No, I really think that we should release them to the wild. They are not a danger to us. Again, if we release them far enough from the circus, I don't believe that they should come back and cause us any harm.
I do believe that evidence shows us that they are quite a danger. They have killed one of us, our leader. In case you forget, Fulgrim, he's dead because of these snakes.
I believe our mud is standing right there.
Yeah, I'm fine. I appreciate it, though.
Our former leader, that is.
I believe that they were controlled, again, like you say, by someone that has a lot of dealings with the nature and spells of that effect.
I'll be lofting my bed tonight, then, if we let these snakes loose.
Unfortunately, I do think that you are right in that it's not the snake's fault. But, unfortunately, they will be used as a tool going forward to, do bad stuff.
It's not the barnacles' fault that they attach themselves to the ship, but you still got to scrape them off.
Yeah.
Unless somebody stops me, I'm going to stomp these snakes.
Wait. Yes, sir. We need to milk them first.
My boot's up. Too fast.
Give Elysia a chance.
All right. So, she... I'm just going to go with her nature skills. So 16. So she helps you milk these vipers. They don't have a ton of venom left in them because so much of it was discharged into poor Myron's legs.
More evidence that they are dangerous.
But you do get enough that, Brennan, you feel like this is at least something to work with in the future. And she does have vipers in her collection. So if there were ever a need for more venom, she could certainly hook you up with that.
Very good. I will take the vial of this venom.
My friend Fulgrim, can we go potentially, actually...
Oh, Fulgrim, there's a huge mass of people at the beer tent. You might want to go handle that?
may I sleight of hand a vial of snake venom?
You could try it. Go for it.
I don't do well.
Oh.
I tried to sleight of hand a vial of your fake.
You
snake
try to
venom.
reach
Can I
into
ask
Brennan's
you why
mouth.
you were trying to take this venom? I'd like to make anti-venom from this.
And I would like to make anti-Fulgrim being here from taking that.
You want to kill Fulgrim with the venom? That doesn't sound very... I think we have like a mutineer, we might call him.
My friend, this has been a phenomenal conversation. Fulgrim, can you show me your new brewing process?
Oh, yes. First,
Yes, let's walk and
distillate.
talk. Yes, yes.
Mud, it seems one of our own wants to dispatch of the other with venom.
Well, you'll have that. You'll have that on the big jobs.
You might want to speak with Xa'Reske and find out what that's all about.
Honestly, Xa'Reske killed it tonight, so he's earned a little bit of
He
murder.
wants to kill Fulgrim.
A little bit of murder. Just a little bit.
Everyone can have one.
And like Fulgrim's a dwarf, so he's little. So just a little bit of murder. A little bit of murder. All right. So after a successful show, you did a great job entertaining these poor residents of Aberton. We're on the hunt for a murderer, and you have no idea who it could be. But we're going to pick up on the hunt for the murderer next time on episode 2 of the Lost Omens podcast.
Lindsay.